Hey guys, what's up? This is Manny. I am trading today, and I thought, what a day to jump in and show you what I'm up to. I am not an economist. I am not a full-time trader. I am somebody who trades to add on some beer money. Let's put it that way. And unfortunately, today, in parts of the world, it's not the best news, with Iran looking to actually, well, send some missiles. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just checking the trade. So I'm trading at the same time. We're waiting to see if this is going to provide us a bounce and bring itself back up to let people in. I'm currently just saying that I don't want to consent. So this is bad news today as we're talking. Sorry for my but bad news, because this is about Iran obviously sending ballistic missiles to Israel. I'm just reading updates there, and this means the market's already got nervous and it's dropped somewhat. So if you look at it today, you've taken a, from high to low today, you've automatically taken an 80-point drop. I saw quite a lot of resistance at the bottom, so I've come back in. And if I'm also looking at my fibs, I mean, it's past the 0.236. So we would want this to hit 0.382. And for anyone who doesn't know what Fibonacci is, I'm not the best person to explain to you. But very roughly, it's a guy who understood math quite well. I think he loved off maths and that. So he recognised a pattern that reoccurs throughout the world, and that pattern is used quite heavily within trading. And for the fact that it's used within trading quite heavily by a number of people, you can tend to use it as a point where you'll find people to set entry points. So you'll get quite big bounces back up, or you'll get bounces that create trend reversal. So we've seen like this 80 pip movement down. We're just waiting to see if this goes back up. We have already seen it hit its 0.236. What I'm looking for is to see if this moves back up and touches one of the fibs and then drops again. If it does, it'll be that number that I'm looking for when we're going back down. Let's see what's happened with the data today. So we've got construction spend, and I'll pull this over so you can see it. We've got construction spend down. Month on month, it's not a good thing. It's a sign of recession, really. ISM manufacturing again down. From an inflation perspective, that's probably not bad. That's probably good. That shows that the weakening from the corporation side of things, meaning that the power is no longer in their hand to keep raising prices and driving up inflation. I mean, new orders are still new orders, which showing there's still demand, however, through manufacturing. The PMI, prices paid being lower as well, just a weakening. Then you've got job openings, which is like 500,000, pretty much more. or just under them than what they were expecting, what the consensus was. So we really want to see what's leading here. I mean, the news on a ballistic missile attack is going to be leading, no doubt. However, there is the jolts to consider. So, at what point is the news going to bring us to a leveling point within the market? And let the market bounce, and how far up will it go to kind of recognise what's going up with jolts? I think that's what we're looking at today, because we're shorting. However, we haven't seen the bottom in my belief. I think because we were midway between this fib point, for me, I think we'd see zero point 0.5. Looking further down, I think we would actually kind of be reaching this. I mean, 0.618 is always quite a reliable place for the market to move to when you're looking at the fibs. And this is a trend line fib, so I'm looking at 2 points of movement and then looking what the fib will suggest. And 1 on the fib. Can't believe this, mate. So today, I'm not sure if you realise, we've just been pumping, and I managed to take some good earnings from this. As we got to here, I believe that, hold on, we're now going to start coming into, for good reason, I thought that we were actually going to start going into more of a horizontal pattern. And then again, like the early tech stuff that happened after COVID with all the reliance on tech, it just blew up again. And this is not a fine choice of words, unfortunately, but this pushed up furthermore and hasn't stopped knocking on the all-time highs. So right now we're just waiting to see whether this blows my my entry point for my long, which will just keep my short open. I think I'll keep this short open now anyway. I mean, we're off 20, 30 pips. I think it's actually maybe more like 40 pips from the all-time high. So strategy-wise for me, if this does play out and this does keep shorting and keeps knocking down, I'll be looking to keep my entry as hedges effectively against this short. And really and truly, I would want to see this short kind of kick in around here. That's where I'd looking to be trying to take profit first. And each time I'm going to do this, I'm not going to take profit. I'm just going to secure against another long hedge. And then over the long term, I'll be looking to kind of see whether this gets back down to that 4,800 mark around here. But we're talking months away. Oh, here we go. We've blown out. We've blown out of that position. It could just be closing out, hit the same point, and then bounce right back up. So let's get to the 30-minute time frame. Keep our eye on this. There's some fight there. Yep, this is another buy entry coming in. Let's have some patience. I mean, a smart person would probably wait for a higher high and a higher low before putting an entry point in here. But I do get the feeling that we're probably going to come back up to the middle of the VWAP. You've got to love a bit the old trend lines as well. Yeah, I think we'll be back up to here before we go back down. What we would like to see is a retest down here. It's just mental. Nothing's moving in one direction today, so it just seemed like one of these days where you'll get your face ripped off, unfortunately, if we're not careful. So setting stop losses and everything. I'm only using a short amount at the moment. I'll happily leave that amount long for a year or two. So happily using only a small pot at the moment to trade with for this trade, because this trade itself is, again, like I said before, just trying to look to hold a placement at the top of the all-time high over the next year. Must be a ghost. Must be Halloween early. Got my door opening and closing on its own. Right, again, minute on the minute. Let's just keep watching. Here we go. Let's stand on the 30 minutes. See what kind of lines consistency we get. It's a ghost of the market. Definitely got some pushback kicking in now. But there's no decision has been made just yet. So on the 30 minute, we're still lower. So the idea is that you'd buy again here once you proceed to see on a 30 minute you've got a higher high. But I'm not ready to do that just yet. Again, I'm not ready to do that purely for the fact that this is making some decisions. You see constant forcing down, and you can see it from the. You can actually see this from the DOM. DOM, 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 DOM. Let's have a look at DOM. You can start to count it from the pips to see the movement. So at the moment we're at 35.2, 34.4. If that goes below 30, then we know we're coming back up really, and probably below 20. Watch this out then. Let's see where this goes. We're looking for lower lows. These two trend lines mean diddly squat, to be honest. It's always good to use them, in my opinion, but diddly squat. Oh, that'd be beautiful if that holds. So I always like to look at this DOM and just count the kind of distance between the movements to see what kind of power you. There's other metrics you can use, but you can just see that's pushing back. Come on, 30 minutes, show us the way. Retest down here. Get mentioned about these trend lines. It's just below there. It's about now we just go get some coffee. It is coffee time. Excellent, guys. I am going to maneuver myself out of here, go get a coffee, and I'll be back. giving us some pushback now, like higher low, higher high on the 5 minute. Need to wait for 30 minutes to tell us. Got lower low, same high. Here we go, boys and girls. So my long closed out. You'd kind of want to see this rejecting. It's pushed through this line. None of these trends aren't doing nothing. We have definitely hit the bottom here, and we go back up. Again, you just love to see it keep going down rather than up, so that it means that all profit taking and everything, and in that malarkey all means something. By the way, if you're looking for somebody to tell you how to trade, this is not the channel to be looking at. This is not the person to be looking at. I am a part-time trader. I don't trade all day, every day. I do other things for work. The most important thing to tell you is this is not financial advice. I can't tell you whether this market's going up and down. And very, very truthfully, I know that you have red days from my own experience, and you have good days. So it's about managing the difference between the two and making sure that you really try and get 10% loss rate, because that is absolutely golden. So it's in buying power, 31, but down below 30. So now we're getting to here. It's like almost going to look for a better entry point at the bottom around 5706. Will it give me another entry point a little bit lower, to which I can then, let's just keep an update on the news. So White House saying that it's going to happen. That is a big thing. $35 to 37, 35.7, 34.9. So we pick a place. This is what I tend to do. Pick a place. 35.2 it was. So we're there. 0.1. We're one up from where I was. 35.2. Okay. So 0.2 up. We're at 0. 0.2, down 1, down 2, down 3, down 3. So now we'll look for a double bottom. We'll see if this gives us this. If we have a double bottom, and then we can imagine there'll probably be some buyback. I would envisage seeing this back up to here, 7.535. Just have a look what else is going on elsewhere. You got the VIX dropping off. So US 100, US 30 doing, Wall Street 30. Important for it to reject here and keep coming down, for then the SPX to mirror the same. But I tend to find the ES1, sorry God, I'm not even looking at you, but I tend to find the ES1, bring this graph in. Look how messy this graph, I haven't looked at it for a while. As this comes up, we start to come down a little bit. But over the long term, here we go. follows up as trend, obviously. But this kind of gives you a head. This is coming up. This is coming down. As this comes down, this will start to push up a little bit. We've already seen that trend now reverse. Need to have control, but I'm very tempted to put a long in here. Just got to maintain a little bit of control. Though I give us a second chance at the bottom, we will enter. So although I was operating today and I was able to see the top here, I had already entered this short position around here. So for a day in itself, it shot up and I was wrong. And the market it was too early again, that short position. I held the short position because I was confident in it and I'd seen these constant rejections almost. But I wasn't. This was the day where I wouldn't have held it for very much longer and had accepted a certain amount of loss and then worked that loss back in with a plan to get it back. $37.9, 36. So we're pushing back. See where this takes us over 40. If it takes us over 40 pips down, there we go. We're over 40 pips down. Now we just need to see if this will hold again. If this 56971, which when you evaluate it, that was another area on the way up that was also holding previously. So I think for this area to break would be quite a big statement in it, a big statement in itself. Yeah. Anyway, tea, coffee. You can keep your eye on that on your charts and see what happens. For me, like I said, I am now eagerly waiting to actually go long. But I've got to see a double bottom here to believe that we're going back up. There you go. That's nice. Also got to be looking at the higher time frames. 22 minutes left on the 4 hour. Where are we? 4 hour, we've got nearly 2 hours left. So let's work this out. If I was to go long here, that's 4 pips. So we're talking about a couple of quid. Oh, say bye. Oh, that's not good. So maybe some news going on. That did bounce quite heavily though. So I never normally look at the graphs for this long. That's still pushing that down as a bottom. It's still tracing quite quickly. So now this is pushed past the bottom. I would be relining my fib with the next point down. So imagining a bounce here. So if this can come down to here, bouncing back up, or matching. So bounce to here, bounce up to here, and then come back down further. If that trend sticks together. And then you've got yourself down around here anyway, which if we look over time, which is closed today, game wouldn't surprise me if we're anywhere down here. And I will just continuously move this out until we confirm a bottom for this kind of time period daily. Like I said, bit of coffee, wait it out, see what happens, but keep a keen eye in case you start to see it bouncing. That's me. Definitely don't want to find that this just rips up really quickly whilst I'm getting coffee. So give it 2 seconds and then be, yeah, good. Right, boys and girls, see you in a bit.